What's happening? It's going to be beginner. You can start by creating a folder, movies. I'm going to assume that you know the steps of setting up a React application to begin with. I've already done that beforehand. So we're going to drag and drop this. So normally once you set up your React app, you're going to be having something like this. So your app.js, and we're going to do some cleanup. We don't need this, this, and this. It's typically what you do in when you're setting up your React app. The cleanup. Yep. Yeah, if you don't do this, it's going to have some errors to begin with. Yes. All right. You can leave this just the way it is. Okay. So the next step, we're going to have a bunch of files we're going to set up beforehand. The first one is going to be your Firebase config. So just in your source folder, you can new file. There we go. That's the only file we're going to be having. So once we are done with this, we have to set up Firebase. I hope with the help of you. On your Firebase console, we're going to be greeted with such a page. So we're going to create a new project. We're going to name it movies. Okay, it's okay. This doesn't matter. You can leave Google Analytics on for this project or whatever. You can keep it off. It doesn't affect us that much. Continue. Select your default Firebase account. Then create the project. Up and running. Yes. Okay, that is done. I decided to do this because a while back while I was searching for a similar video, there wasn't a clear tutorial on how to do this. I went through a hustle and I decided, okay, once I learned how to do it, then I took it upon myself to teach anyone else who would be caught up in the same predicament as I did. Okay, back to our app. As you can see down here, you have iOS. Setting up the project for iOS, Apple, and web. So we're going to be doing web. So same name, movies, maybe movies DB. No, movies is okay. We don't need hosting for this app. We register. It's going to take a couple of minutes depending on, and there you go. Yep. Okay, everything is up and set. So we're going to look at all products. We are interested in Cloud Firestore. That's going to set up our database. You can just go create database. Start in production mode. This gives you read and write. We can always change this later on. So just start in production mode. Choose a Firestore location, can be Europe, enable. Just for it while it sets up. Okay, there we go. So the next step here we're going to do is start a collection, and our collection is going to be start collection. We can name it movies. Next, the first entry, we can make a first entry. Auto ID. First field, we're going to be using a movie. So the attributes of a movie is the basic attributes of a movie is the title, the type of the movie, a brief description of what the movie is, and an image to show us, okay, a movie card. It's going to look at least better in React. So first thing we're going to have is a movie title, name, can be Hulk. I'm an Avengers fan, so yes, the strongest Avenger. The second field is a description. Strongest. Yes, and image. Okay, here we're going to look for like using Disney. Interesting. Okay. This one looks nice. So we're going to copy image link, and we're going to fill it as our value, and then we're going to add the final script type of movie. Action. Okay, we have a dummy entry, dummy data, our first collection. There you go, you can see it. Okay, so we go back to our VS Code. First of all, we're going to install a bunch of dependencies, including Firebase. I'm going to pause the video and come back when it's done. Okay, and we are done. Okay, before we continue, let's go back to Firebase and copy the configuration data. Okay, so we're going to go to our app, settings, project settings, and you're going to find your configuration file here. This is all I'm going to need. Then I'm going to show you what you're going to do. Okay, once you have that, what you're going to do, we're going to initialize Firebase. Okay. Yeah. This is for no. Okay, you're probably not going to need authorization because we're not going to be implementing any authentication here. But Firebase. Okay. Oh yeah, correct that. Import. Then we're good to go. Since we're going to be, it's important to initialize Firebase at the bottom. All set, all set. Okay, Firebase. So we can start working on our app itself. Okay, we have our going to be using use effect and use state. So let's import those. Use effect. There you go. Var. We're going to yeah, it's consuming data from Firebase is similar to consuming data, JSON data from a REST API. So once we import the DB from the config file, we're going to use useState and useEffect to create a state and fire the request to fetch data. So this is how we're going to do it. Start by const equals to an empty array because it's an async function. So we're going to fetch the data. The next here, how we're going to create a function called fetch response. Let me write the code and then I'm going to explain what is happening here. Okay, the async function will fetch the data from Firebase. We've created an async function that is going to fetch data from Firebase and call it inside the use effect. As you can see, so if you can call it inside the use effect. Inside the fetch movies method, we're going to get a reference of the database we created by calling it the collection db.collection movies method on the database object, and we're going to be passing the name as a parameter. So movie, I hope that is simple and clear. So we're going to call the use effect. Use effect. Why is this thing complaining? Fetch movies. Set this. Let's go back just to give you a visual of what we're talking about. So docs refers to this. The document property calls it contains this information, all this information. So when each object contains information about the individual movie, this in our case we only have one, it will iterate over each and every element: description, image, title, and type, to get the individual item, and then call the data from the item and get the data inside it. So description, and then it gets strongest Avenger. The image, it gets this. Title, and then it gets this. We're going to see this in how we're going to render. We're going to represent this. We're going to return our information in the front end. Okay, that's where we are headed next. Okay, last name is there. We're not going to be doing any styling today. Okay, we're going to have a H1 tag. You can call it movies. We're going to, under the movies, under it, we're going to return our response. We're going to return our response. We're going to add a state of only one document. Our state will also contain only one single item. So we're going to cycle through our state and render the data on the DOM. So this is how we're going to do it. Movies dot map. Movies. Okay, why is this to me not? I'm going to do it real slow today. You can call it movies container. Okay, so here's where we're going to now render the elements that I was talking to you about that were in the .docs property. .docs property. The first one is always good to start with the movie image. So it's going to be movies.image. It was img. If you can remember, it was img. Let us have a quick confirm. Yes, img. As you all know, that the description is, now you get the drift of how to do it. Movies.description. Okay, movies.title, movies. Why having movies.title two times? Movies.type, type. Remember, it was an action movie. Okay. Let's fix this. This is not supposed to be here. Okay, everything is set. What you're going to do is start the server. See if anything renders the first time. Yeah, we have a problem. Okay, let's sort it out. Firebase.config. Yes, we forgot to put / Okay, Firebase.config. Okay, that is the problem. See, guys, a single letter can cause you headache. Let's now see. Okay, still okay. Package exported from Okay. Okay, let me see. Yes. Forgive my spellings. Let's see. Okay, let's since it has an error that can't go away, let's stop the server and then run it again and see what will happen. Same problem, but I have already changed it into Compat. Okay. Forgive my spelling, guys. Can't resolve web vitals. Okay. No, okay. Okay, we have our movies. Let's inspect and see what we have. Console. Okay, as you can see, there's an error of some sort. Let's see if we can fix this. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you see this error, that means our permissions in Firebase is not set. So all you have to do is go back to our Firebase console, go to rules, edit rules, and change this to true to give users read and write permission, then publish. Now we should be having something. When we refresh, yes, yes. The title, the type of movie, and the description. Yes, as simple as that. You could retrieve. This is useful for creating if you want to have your own like gallery running straight from Firebase. You could make use of this. And the next tutorial we're going to be, maybe in the comments below you can leave suggestions if you'd like some more stuff like this, or if you would like how to read, how to read, how to write things onto the Firebase data store. Give a like, subscribe, and see you next time.